check. 1, 2, testing.
Okay, good evening. Before I begin the regular City Council meeting, closed session, I'd like to remind members of the audience that anyone wishing to speak during public comment must obtain a number card from the city clerk. If you did not receive a number card and wish to speak, please proceed to the back of the room and city staff will issue you a number card. I would like to call to order the regular City Council meeting, closed session. The time is now 5:35. City Clerk Duarte, would you please take roll?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Horn,
Present.
Councilmember Sosa,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Trujillo is excused, and Mayor Frometa.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now is the time for public comment for closed session items. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to address the council. Before we begin, I remind members of the public that this public comment period is reserved for comments about the items listed under closed session on the agenda. This is not a time for general public comment, as there is an opportunity for that later. There's a business meeting, and we have business to attend in the next hour. I'm reminding you in advance that we welcome public comment, but this comment period is limited to the topics listed under closed session only. Also, I would like to remind members of the public that city's meeting rules contained in the Downey Municipal Code prohibit any conduct that disrupts, disturbs, or interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting. Speakers who violate these rules and cause a disruption will receive 1 warning and then may be removed from the meeting. Violations of these rules of decorum for council meetings may also result in an administrative fine under the Municipal Code or citation for a misdemeanor under Penal Code Section 403. City Clerk, did we receive written comment regarding closed session items?
We did not, Mayor. And we have 1 speaker that has taken a number.
Okay. If we can have the speaker come up for public comment for closed session. You may proceed.
So I'm back, and I found out that Mr. Trujillo just walked in at 5:37 to discuss these issues, allegations of manipulations under the proclamation of 2 niggers under a liability claim, 19-143213 and 20-146201 for the record, because I am just one dirty nigger to speak about workers' compensation. Because as we all know, niggers who get injured on the job are not fully compensated nowadays due to the fact that members of the city refuse to pay them based on their doctor's opinion that they are disabled or temporary disabled. And goddamn motherfuckers have to file a claim against the city just to retract all the monies owed to them to pay their rents, pay their mortgage, pay their car payments, and pay for their hoes, or as some call them, bitches. So Government Code Section 54956.95, dealing with Mr. William Brown, I'm in support that you pay Mr. William Brown to no longer prolong this bullshit of inaccuracy, that the public has to know that you're not willing to pay someone for what their bodily injury or their emotional distress, or even the fact at this point they might have some mental issues going on and it's getting worse. So keep that in mind. Now on liability number 2, Mr. Ted, if I pronounce it right, Hiler or Hitler, Hiler for the record, he should be compensated for the liability claim under workers' compensation, because the active agency, Downey, continues to refuse to pay these claims and just jargon around with attorney fees. And this costs the city, dumbass taxpayers, jackasses like maybe Mr. Horn or Mr. Sosa that owns a home in Downey, and you're just dishing out money just to run this proclamation about niggers not ever receiving a dime. And let me remind you on this matter, 42 U.S.C. 1983, fuck you politely, I beat LAUSD 2 times on workers' compensations. You know why? Because I took good fucking notes. And on top of that, I had an excellent workers' comp attorney from Van Nuys, who's now retired, and he told me politely, mention my name, but I says, no, sir, out of due respect, I'll just do it the right way. Fuck you, pay these bitches what you owe them, and get the city running back the way it should so we can have a budget that reflects what you're spending on infrastructure. Thank you. Will I
Thank
turn
you.
in these documents for the record?
Right here, sir.
Yeah, I don't want you to construe the word nigger because it's part of my...
We have one more speaker, Mayor.
Okay, speaker number 2, you may come up.
Okay, so I have some comments about this closed session. I am bothered by the fact that I only recently figured this out, but someone approached me and they gave me like these complaints that you people have been dealing with, and I'm like, wow, that is some serious stuff. So, you know, if that's one case, I'm wondering about these cases. Like, what is involved here? What are you hiding? How much have you been conspiring against other workers? Because if there's one worker seeking workers' compensation, well, what about all the other workers that were silenced into it? We know for a fact that in the past, Leave Us had this whole thing where he would like tell people, hey, you can't talk. And so then people would get fired. So is that still going on? Is that why people are getting the workers' compensation? Well, they're demanding it. You people are probably refusing to give it to them. You're paying these outside attorneys. And I have a question about that. Like, why are there? So it's like, okay, we have one outside attorney who briefs you on the closed session items, but then we have whole other outside attorneys that take care of these cases and charge their own independent fees. And I think that is ridiculous. I think that there should be another thing in here, another system where, for like the example, why is it that the city attorney gets to preside over these cases? It should be someone elected, not someone coming all the way from West LA and saying this and that about these cases. It should be someone elected. So if we did have an elected city attorney, maybe we would have someone more accountable to the voters and then maybe to the employees too, so there wouldn't be as many complaints. Why are there these compensation issues? And if there's these two cases here, how many other things have not made it into a case yet? Because maybe they were unable to secure an attorney. So how many other times did you violate workers' rights? I'm sure there's been quite a few. But, of course, you've silenced it. You try to hide it. You try to fire people. You did fire some people. You fired Leave Us. He was also a worker, and he oppressed other workers. So it's like, you gotta knock it out. You have to actually be transparent. Everything that's in these two cases should literally just be on the wall, so everyone can inspect it. Instead, people have to go to the courthouse, pay 50 cents, and it's or go on the LexisNexis, which is also expensive. No, how about you be actually transparent? We know you've been hiding so many things in closed session. Now the documents are going around and everyone's going to find out about all your corruption and everything that you've done wrong. And that's why you got to give these workers their fair share.
Thank you for that. I will make a motion to close public comment. Can I get a second?
Second.
We will now recess to close session under the following authorities. Number 1, Government Code Section 54956.95, liability claim, workers' compensation claim, claimant William Brown, claim number 19-143213 and 19-141836. Workers' Compensation Appeals Board number ADJ 123222927 and ADJ 123222926. The agency claim against is the City of Downey. Number 2 is Government Code Section 54956.95, liability claim, workers' compensation claim, Ted Heiler, Claim number 20146201, Workers' Compensation Board number ADJ 12880264, agency claimed against City of Downey. We will now recess to closed session. The time is 5:45.